How you doing?
Nice to meet you, Dr. Hogan. So, come to my attention that you're having a problem you want to talk about.
I do, yes.
Seems to be the problem today.
Well, recently, me and my girlfriend of a pretty long time just split up and having a really tough time coping with it.
I see breakups can be a difficult thing to go through.
Absolutely.
So, what are the ways that this breakup has been affecting you personally?
But, I just really have myself. I've lost my appetite. I really can't eat, can't sleep, and distancing myself from my family, my friends. It's time for myself.
Okay, that's a lot. Seems like a lot of significant problems to be having. But is there one that you maybe want to focus on more than the rest today?
Definitely the sleep part of it. I've just have not been sleeping at all. I'm exhausted. I can't sleep, and it's getting to me now.
Yeah, lack of sleep can lead to a lot of day-to-day problems. It is a very important part of our lives. What kind of things are you doing when you're awake at these hours?
Well, I get into bed, after a day of thinking about everything, and I just toss and turn, and I just can't stop thinking about her and the mistakes I've made, and how I could have made our relationship better, and the things I could have done differently to maybe further our relationship and strengthen it. But, it just keeps playing on and on and on in my head.
Okay, so it sounds like you're having a lot of feelings of regret in regards to the relationship.
Not really regret about the relationship, but really the things that happened during it, like the things I could have done better, the things I could have changed, and it's all just hitting me now, thinking about it over and over again, like what I could have changed to make it better.
I see. Is there one sort of example that you can pick out of an example where you may have neglected her or lack of attention played a part?
One time that really stands out in my mind is, I don't know, about a month, 2 months back, I promised to take her out to dinner. A big dinner. And, as the day went on, my friends were asking me, hey, come to the bar, come with us. And, I knew I had to go out to dinner with her. I promised her all weekend. I kind of blew her off, and instead of going out there with her and taking her out, I went out to the bar with my friends, and kind of like blew her off, ditched her. Pretty terrible thing to do.
So it sounds like you kind of may have made a poor choice and kind of had a problem as a result of that. Did you guys have what happened when you got home after that?
When I got home, well, I walked in and she was sitting there, and I could tell that something was wrong. She was all, had a look on her face, and she got up to, kind of hug me and greet me at the door. I didn't tell her I was out with my friends to the bar. She kind of smelled the alcohol on my breath, and she blew up, and we got to this big thing, this big fight. And, she was telling me, good, and it's all this stuff was happening. I laugh because it's crazy how it all just happened from this one little thing, but I'm good, and I don't care about her, and I go out with my friends too much, I drink too much, and it's just crazy because I'm not like that. And, what I did was a bad thing, but she didn't really have to blow up like that on me.
So it sounds to me like you feel like you're being blamed for a lot of things that you don't think that you are really not responsible for, but aren't as responsible as what she makes you out to be.
Well, yeah, I mean, she was telling me that, I drink too much and, I'm no good, but, the truth of the matter is that I don't even drink that much, but when I do drink, I know my limits. Like, I never come home stumbling through the door or, getting all crazy, like, she was telling me about how she had an alcohol problem in her family. I guess her father and her grandfather were alcoholics, and that's a terrible thing, but I guess what I did kind of brought her back to some horrible memories she had as a child.
Okay, so you think that maybe her issue may not have been with the fact that you neglected her. It might have been the fact that you neglected her to go out drinking.
Possibly. I mean, yeah, I could see it. I mean, she definitely was pissed about the whole drinking thing, and maybe in her mind that I left her for drinking, say, instead of being with her. Maybe like her father did. I don't know. I mean, I don't get it. I mean, she made me out to be some sort of monster that her and I both know that I'm not. And maybe it was that triggered it. I don't know.
Okay, so sounds like that she has, or that you think that there's a lot of problems that happened in your relationship that could have been preventable, that were maybe some things that, not silly things, but some things that have somewhat simple solutions that might not have been thought out as much.
Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of, silly, stupid little fights, that could have been avoided easily, I could have done something, differently or better, or not done something. A lot of things like that.
Sounds like there's a lot of this is kind of, a lot of that in the relationship kind of built up, and that may have been a breaking point at some point in that relationship. And that tends to happen sometimes in relationships where people tend to stray apart. In this today, we talked about how you think that you have some, not regret. I don't want to use the word regret, but there are certain situations that could have gone differently, had different outcomes that you think you could have maybe both worked together to find common ground on. Is there any? Did you guys ever try to come to a common ground or work things out?
Yeah, we always try to meet in the middle. That's just the relationship we had. When it was good. We always try to meet in a common place and meet in the middle where we could both come together and work out the problem. But sometimes couldn't. It was either she won or I won. If she was pissed, I was pissed. But usually we would try to come to an agreement and work it out.
Okay. So these feelings of blame, are these feelings that you think that you're being blamed or were being blamed in the relationship, are those very intrusive feelings to you? Did you get those, do you still have those feelings today?
Oh, absolutely. It still sticks with me that, everything just happened to be my fault, one way or another, it was all on me. But, it still eats me a lot, it really does. It makes me feel like the whole breakup was my fault and everything I did was bad. I ruined the relationship, and I don't want to think like that, but when it's drilled into your head so long, I start to think like that. And unfortunately, that's why I'm here today, because I blame myself and I don't know how to deal with that.
Yeah, that's a thing that happens in a lot of relationships. People tend to blame themselves instead of thinking about what could have gone on to stop the problems. They just immediately jump to conclusions. But this is blame is something that I think we're gonna talk about a lot in our sessions, because this is something that I think is a big has a lot of underlying value in your life. I think that after what we talked about today regarding your ex-girlfriend's past with her alcohol issues, not personally, but with her family, these are all things that we talked about, but can also lead into our next sessions because they all have connections. We heard you talk about how she had that you guys tried to come to that conclusion at one time after you were out drinking. That may not have come out to the best conclusion, but you at least got some talking done. You got to talk. That's good. And I think as we go along in this, we'll figure out more and more ways that you can cope with the feelings of being blamed in a lot of these relationships.